All right. Mulligans and Hackers Golf podcast, episode number 63. Major prep.
Major prep. Battle for the jug.
Yeah, the third annual battle for the jug. Coming up, well, by the time you listen to this, it'll already be over. But this is our pre-part of the podcast.
So we're going to do like a two-part podcast that we're going to drop today as you're listening. So the first part of it is going to be us talking about our prep.
Yep.
And then the second part of it will be after the tournament's over, and we will do the discuss
who's really happy and who's not happy.
discuss my championship win this weekend. It'll be my second major. Yes, and I'm saying I'm winning because I'm in a really good headspace. We'll get into that in a sec, but it is one of the first tournaments that we're going into that I'm really
this season
that I'm really confident about. So, in the last episode you and me were on, or maybe we didn't. I don't know, but I've been struggling for about a month.
Yeah, I think it was. Wasn't it the struggle? The struggle is real. Wasn't that our last episode?
The frustration is real. That's the one. Yeah, that's the episode. Yeah. I have been struggling, and I continued to struggle right up until this past weekend. So this past weekend, you were out of town.
Yeah.
We'll talk about where you were. But up until that point, every round I've played, I struggled. Like I think I said in that episode, I only broke 90 once in like the last month, and that was an 88, and that was tough for me. But I go back to, I've been walking the courses. It's getting really fucking hot, and it's taking the goodness out of me, and it's really causing me not to be able to play a solid 18 holes walking.
Yep.
I do feel fatigued and run down as we're getting.
Well,
it takes me a day to get over it.
It's damn near 40 degrees Celsius with like 50% humidity.
So, last weekend you were gone. So Saturday I booked a couple hours at M-Flex, and I went to M-Flex on Saturday for 2 straight hours, and all I did was hit balls. I didn't play any courses, no shots. I hit golf balls on their sim range. That's all I did for 2 whole hours. I went through the bag like 3 times.
Anything particular you were working on, or just
I was actually working on my irons, to be honest with you. My 3-wood has kind of left me a little bit here, and that used to be one of my favorite clubs in the bag. And it's kind of left me here a little bit. I'm kind of 50-50 on it now. At the range tonight, we did a range session tonight in prep for tomorrow's event at Cottonwood, the first day. Connaught, sorry.
Yeah.
But that prep at M-Flex, I worked on iron position behind the ball, if that makes sense. So I found myself pulling the ball a lot in my swing.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually angled my wedge face open a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and in my takeaway and return to the ball, I focused on actually like pushing the club head away from me. And now everything is, you've seen it, you saw it yesterday a little bit and it was windy yesterday, granted, but I was online, and I was like, I may have been going over the green, but I was hitting greens and rolling off the back, which is really strange for me because I'm usually always short.
Yep.
So that Saturday, getting all that working with the wedges and actually finding something that kind of worked, that you could kind of tactile touch, put the club behind, just kind of open that face a little bit up, and focusing on my takeaway where my club is going back and my path back through the ball.
Yep.
Things started to straighten out, and on the M-Flex it gives you some information, and that was giving me a lot of information. Like, okay, you're hitting it straight, but every now and then it would be a push draw,
mm-hmm.
and I would get a little bit of a drawback on my irons, which I've never had in my life. It's always been like a snap hook,
yep,
or just a straight pull, right? So that gave me a lot of confidence. That was like, I was happy after that session. I was sweating buckets because all I did was like literally shot after shot after
2 hours of hitting balls will do that to you,
right? And so I was happy after that session. So you were still out of town. Me and Clark went and played on Sunday, and rode in the cart. I didn't walk that Sunday because I was more focused on, I wanted to shoot. I wanted to make my shots. And
transfer what you were working on to the course,
with what I was working on, right? And that day I shot an 84.
Nice. Best ever there?
Yeah, that's my best round ever there. So that, like, when I walked off there and I added up my score, because I don't really keep And so I went through the front 9, no double squares. I had 6 bogeys, 3 pars. Had a couple opportunities for birdie.
Yep.
Which was, again, I haven't had a birdie in over a month.
It's crazy.
So
watch him come in fucking buckets this weekend.
Again, it was, well, I'll take it. If it's going to come, I'm going to take it. But that front 9 was like, I got around the course relatively
stress-free.
I wasn't really out of shape a lot. And when I was, I made a shot to get myself back, which was really cool. Then we made the turn. So I double bogey 9.
10, you mean?
Or 10. Sorry, I double bogey 10, and I double bogey 18. So there's 4 strokes there, but I went 6 over on the back.
Yeah. So in the other 7 holes, you had 1 bogey, or 2 bogeys, and the rest pars.
5 pars.
Yeah.
So when I walked off that course on Sunday, I was like, okay, you figured something out. You're really good. I was in really good shape and a really good headspace.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we didn't play until Thursday.
Last night,
and we went play.
Mind you, the conditions were not great.
They were not great. We walked.
We did, yeah.
Right? But even the first 8 holes, I had 2 or 3 opportunities for birdie.
Oh, yeah, and a couple that were like...
were makeable that I didn't make.
You didn't miss them by much either. They just didn't draw.
Didn't draw. So that was confidence building. Again, even though we're walking the 9 holes, but I can walk 9 holes pretty confidently that I can get through without being too fatigued. But it was really a hurricane of wind last night. But I kind of lost it on number 9. I quadded number 9, which kind of put my score at, I think I shot 46. Right?
Man.
Take that quad away, and I'm still in the 42.
6.
There's your plus 6, right? So, and again, I hit a bad drive, kind of put me out of shape. I hit a really good 3-wood that hit a tree and knocked it down, didn't go anywhere, and then it was kind of scramble chaos from there on in. But take that hole away, and I still walked off the course last night with a lot of confidence in my ability to get around. I hit some really good iron shots, like a 7-iron, that it hit the green and rolled off the back. And again, my 7-iron can be pretty finicky, but with my new kind of strategy of that angling, open the face a little bit, it's starting to get some really good contact and really good lines.
Nice.
So
nice.
The last week in my game has been huge for my confidence building. Huge. So going into this weekend, tomorrow at Connaught, Saturday or Sunday at Medicine Hat for our 2-day major for the Jug.
Yeah,
I'm going into it within a really good headspace, which is really good for me. So I'm ready to compete this weekend, and I haven't won the Jug yet. Clark won it the first year we had the tournament. You won it last year. You're the defending champion, trying to go for 2 in a row. I am going to do my fucking damnedest this weekend to make sure that doesn't happen, because I want my second major.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. And it would actually, if I did win, and again, this is all theoretical, fucking lots of shit could happen, but that would actually get us flipped. I think we would be tied in points then for the cup.
Yes, because the majors work double points.
It's worth double points. So
yeah, so we would, because right now I have a 200-point lead on you,
right.
And then if you won, if I happen to finish second, then we would be tied. So again, like you had just said, so it's a new format kind of this year. We've decided we were trying something different. Usually it's 2 rounds at the same golf course.
Usually.
So this year we've decided, because we have the dual membership, we're going to do 1 round at Connaught, which is a little bit of a different golf course with different grass, different greens, different whatever. And then the final round, the money round, will be back at our home course of Medicine Hat, and just see what happens. I think it really opens the door for realistically anybody to win if they can put 2 good rounds together.
Agreed.
Like, I mean,
Connaught is going to be the roll of the dice here.
Oh yeah, it could be anybody tomorrow could play well.
We could go there tomorrow, and it could be another fucking 6-hour round. You don't know. It's Saturday. I mean, we've
in the middle of the freaking day too.
We've played Connaught, and we've literally 3 hours to get through the front, 3 hours to get through the back. It's ridiculous sometimes, but
it's painful.
It's painful. So hopefully the pace of play maintains.
Can't let that bother us too much. Hopefully.
No, and again, we got to go into tournament mode here, right? Like, got to get into that mindset. So,
I mean, my game's kind of been steady for the most part so far this year.
You didn't play much golf in the last week or so.
No, and I played last Thursday. I played 9. Usually I play 18, but I played 9 because I had some shit to get ready because we were going out to BC to the lake. And then we left on Friday morning. We were out. We did play Trickle Creek on Sunday in Kimberly. Um, Not a terrible golf course, but to be honest, I've played a lot of mountain golf courses, and it would be at the bottom of my list to go back to. I mean, the course itself was decent. I just didn't love the vibes of the course or the like the clubhouse or the staff in comparison to a lot of like I've played Crow's Nest and Kananaskis, both courses, and Bear's Paw and some other ones, and it's just it was towards the bottom end of my list. Still a great experience, but just
Well, you got to
for
play
me
it,
that
so-
was that was just my opinion. So, and I didn't like usually I go now. I'm an hour early minimum. I mean, golfing with Mark, he's never on time. So, I tried to get him to leave a little early. He's like, nah, whatever. And I mean, even he was mad because he didn't really get a warm up. We got there about, I don't know, 20 minutes before our tee time. And then they tried to rush us. Like, we got 10 minutes to basically get our shit in the cart. And they're like, let's get you guys going early. And I was kind of like, I'd like to hit a couple balls.
We don't do early. We do prep and routine here.
Yeah, right. So that being said, I mean, I played from everybody was playing from the whites, and I was camping. I should have played one tee box back, but I was like, screw that, whatever. I was sleeping. I mean, I had an easy day where I didn't touch my driver, didn't even bring it out once, and I think I went 6-iron, 5 hybrid, and 5 wood off of every tee box other than like 2. I hit my 3 wood, just to see if I could get at a couple par 5s and 2, but I ended up shooting +5 for 10 over.
Nice.
Their greens were. That was probably the thing that pissed me off the most was they were so untrue. Like you'd hit a good putt. Like I putt well, and I'm used to playing on pretty manicured greens like where we play at Medicine Hat, and I'd hit a good putt and it'd be fucking jumping all the way to the hole, and I'm like, okay, well this is like playing on perforated greens because that's fun. But I mean, I must have 3-putted five greens, and then I think I 1-putted like
still
4 or 5. I shot +10, and I was still under 2 putts per hole. So however it wound up. So I mean, cool course, cool experience. Just not my favorite mountain course. So that was the last time I played golf. Monday night we were coming back into town. I was going to do a range session. Fate would have other things for me to do because I blew a tire about 10 kilometers from town, so that was fucking awesome. Had to lay on the pavement in +38 and change my fucking tire.
Nice.
And into my donut, drive home, put on my winners, take them in, get my tires changed this week. I mean, I was due for new summers, but that was my fault for procrastinating. So I didn't get to hit any balls Monday. And then we went out last night. So I hit a few balls beforehand. Just basically the only balls I've hit since Sunday, and it was just kind of for me it was just kind of a get out there and just kind of get some swings in. Right, it wasn't bad. I mean, I think I finished 9 over, which I wasn't super happy about, but I wasn't pissed about because I'm like, I haven't played a lot of golf lately, so it's like whatever. I had a ridiculously long par save on number.
You did
4.
Yeah.
4. Yeah, number 4.
Basically the entire length of the green.
Yeah, number 4. It was crazy.
Uphill.
Yeah.
Uphill.
Breaking it left, right.
Left, right.
Yeah. Sorry, right, left.
From the front edge of the green to the back because the pin was in the back.
Yeah.
And drained it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was actually impressed with that.
I even got a fist bump for that.
You did. You got a fist pump and a fucking high five for that one because that was a really good putt.
So I mean, outside of that, I mean, it was a decent round, and then I went to the range a little bit before you today, and I was working on the 2-ball drill where you set up on your outside ball and then you hit the inside ball, and just working about pulling down and getting inside on your swing and getting your turn in. And I've been struggling with my 7-iron lately. That's been one of the clubs that I've been really struggling with. What a difference that made doing that drill with my 7-iron today. It was like everything was crispy again and like extra distance because I'm pulling into it. So that was good. How
are you feeling going into the weekend now?
I feel good. I mean, my short game's good. I mean, I don't worry about that. That's going to keep me in the tournament. I mean, again, it's,
what's your strategy off the tee box going to be?
we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not as afraid of my driver as I was a month ago. Um, that being
All I know is that when you pull the driver out, um, I'm in 50-50 territory when it comes to he's either going to fucking lace one out there 300 yards down the middle, or he's going to be looking somewhere, looking in the tree lines for this fucking thing.
Yeah, and I mean, so it's funny because I mean, I just said I didn't touch my driver at Trickle Creek and I shot 10 over.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of, I mean, I wasn't really thinking about this weekend, but I was thinking, I'm like, man, I haven't hit my driver all weekend, and here I am just shooting an easy plus 10, like no stress. And I'm like, I wonder if I should maybe just do that when it counts.
Probably plays a little longer from the tee boxes that we play with.
Yes,
So
which it requires you. It requires you to hit like if I go 6-iron off the tee, it's going to be 2 good 6-irons on a par 5, right? Whereas it is tempting. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow because I based upon I didn't like we'll see how my warm up is. See how I'm hitting the driver in warm up um, off the driving range. If I'm hitting it decent, then there's an opportunity for me to use it. And typically, I'm only going to be using it on a few holes. So I mean, usually I only use it on the par fives for the most part, and then the occasional long par four. But I'm so long in my bag that it's not a necessary thing, and I'm not as snap hooky as I was a month ago.
Yeah.
I've kind of sorted that out a little bit, which is nice. So confidence wise, I'm feeling good. I'm excited that you're feeling good because I mean I like the challenge. Like I want you to be at your best.
I want to compete in this thing. Right now, I've psyched myself out in other events.
Yeah, for sure.
I was happy I got to win at the start of the year. That was a confidence booster at that time.
Yep.
But I'm in a mind frame now where I am in a good mind frame, and I'm happy I'm going into the weekend with the mind frame I have, very positive. My game is where I want it, and I just got to go execute now. And it bodes well for us down the road here when we go. Which I don't want to talk a lot about it because we'll do that. We'll do that prep in another episode. But we've got another Alberta Golf Tour event coming up, our final one that we're going to participate in.
Yeah, just over a week and a bit away. Yeah.
And again, leading into the weekend, leading into that, where the frame of mind that I'm in, I just want to go play now.
Oh, 100%, dude.
I am so in the let's play mode.
Yeah, I mean, and our events are always more fun when everybody's
when everybody's competing.
Like
when the scores are close, I mean everybody's into it then, right?
Oh yeah. There's been events where there's been runaway winners, and it's kind of like it's fun, but it's like but it's not really fun. And then there's been events where like we've had playoffs. Or like literally every stroke counts, and you're like, "Ooh, man, who's gonna win?" Because this is tight.
What the hell are we gonna do if there's a playoff on Sunday?
That's a really good question.
Because we can't. We're not at Cottonwood here, where we can just go and pick a hole, go play, and just drive out to it. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna do that.
Well,
I'll just have to go in. Don't worry.
That's gonna be interesting, actually. We might have to. Just grab a late tea time in the day, and
play a hole,
and go back and play however many holes it takes to get a winner.
Maybe we should go back to how the playoffs used to be in the PGA, back when they used to play
18 holes
as a tiebreaker.
Oh, that'd be fun. Oh, I kind of like that actually. Geez, so the 18-hole playoff, but on a different day.
Yeah.
Ooh. I kind of like that strategy a little bit.
Oh, we might have to talk about that.
So I mean, we could essentially, if there was a tie, it would just be like, hey, okay, so the tiebreaker is next Saturday. We're gonna go out for a round, everybody, and you two are playing head to head, basically.
Yeah.
That's how that's going.
Yeah.
Stroke play.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a different wrinkle. I really do like that. But I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm glad you're feeling good. I think Clark's game sounded like. Talking to you, it sounds like it's kind of he's hit or miss lately, but I mean if he gets on, he's just as I mean.
We played last Sunday, and what hole was it? I said number 7, par 3. He chipped in from the bunker
for birdie.
And we were playing with a couple of guys from Georgia, out of the States, and as soon as he hit the ball out of the bunker and it landed on the green, the guy was like, "That's going in that Georgian accent, which was absolutely fantastic. But he was like, that's going in. And it had to run another 17 feet.
Wow.
But as soon as it hit the green, he's like, that's going in. he called it, and because again, sometimes you could tell that line, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's going in," and no doubt about it. It didn't take a ring, didn't take a loop, just dropped right in.
That's
it was
awesome.
a fantastic shot, and he did play good most of Sunday. Again, some holes got away from him,
Yeah.
but that's Clark, right?
Yeah, and I mean, and Dave, last time Dave was out, he played well.
You bet.
I mean, his game's kind of coming around.
'Cause
So
he's playing a little bit more golf too, because he goes out with another group as well. So
okay,
nice.
nice.
He's playing a little bit more golf,
Which is good. I mean, the better that everybody's playing, the better for all of us,
You bet.
because
It's
it
way
gets the
more fun.
competitive juices going and it gets it fun. So I mean, may the best man win.
Oh boy! Again, let's see. You'll know when part 2 starts here in
a minute.
In a minute, you'll know by the sound of my intro voice when I say hi where we are, because I'm either going to be over the moon, and I'm actually going to be holding the jug in my hands on the next part of this podcast on YouTube.
Well, if either of us win, the jug will be on the
jug is
YouTube.
coming to the podcast.
Yeah.
So
And if one of us doesn't win, well then, I mean, we'll both be in the same spirit. So
we will, and if neither you nor I win, I think I would be just as happy as if I won. The only person I really don't want to win this is you.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Because you and I are the the.
I mean, it would be my.
We're the Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods of the Mulligans and Hackers tour here.
It would be my 4th major.
Would it?
Because I got 2 tour championships.
Yeah, and you got a jug.
And I got a jug, so it'd be my 4th major if I was to win, and it would be your 2nd because you have 1 tour championship.
I do, yeah.
So so we'll catch up to you guys in a minute, and
part 2 will be here right away.
You'll find out who won, and we're back.
Part 2.
Tournament.
Major for the jug is over.
Yeah, major for the jug is over.
The jug is in the room.
The jug is in the room.
And the person that won it is going to lift it, because I think that's only fair.
Yeah, that's fair. So, the winner, your defending champion, and first repeat champion we've ever had on Mulligans and Hackers in a major event, me, Chris, with the big win. 2-day tournament winner. How do we feel about this, Alvin?
Now that the tournament's over and we've had a few hours, I actually, I'm a little calmer than I was when I was at the course. I struggled this weekend mightily with my game. But now that it's over and done with, I can look back and go, you know what? My game isn't there, but I still battled through. I shot some horrendous scores both days.
Yeah, I got the scorecards here if we want to go through them.
We'll go over that in a sec. But, I would like to say I was happy for you to win, but I'm not. I'm really not.
So everybody knows nobody's ever happy for me to win, because I'm like the New York Yankees or the New England Patriots
of our. The Tiger Woods of our little tour that we have here. You win. You've won.
I win at like a 50% clip, basically.
And you've won 2 of the 3
majors.
You've won.
Or sorry,
of the season long. Chase for the cup.
Yeah, so I've won 2. I've won
2 of the 3 chase for the cups.
Yep, 2 of the 3 chase for the cups.
You've won 2 of the. You've won 2 of the jugs now.
Yeah,
majors.
Yeah.
You've won 2 tour championships.
Yes.
And you've won again almost at a 50% clip of our events. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from you. Your dedication to getting better at the game far surpasses any of the rest of us. I'll give you that. You're fitted for your clubs. You spend an enormous amount of time at the range working on your game constantly, consistently. It shows. It shows in the way you play. You hit a bad shot, and you can still scramble apart. I hit a bad shot, and I'm in the double bogey territory. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
And that's, I think a lot of that comes down to how much time you put in on the court, on the range, how much work you put in at home putting, going to the range, chipping and hitting. I guess the frustrating part for me is I put more work in this year, and I'm not seeing the results yet. So I guess that's part of the frustration for me. Like last weekend was a very positive weekend for me.
Yep.
Thursday we played 9 holes. Other than hole number 9, it was a positive 9 holes for me. And we go into this weekend, and I brought nothing of that to this weekend. Nothing of it. There was literally, I struggled mightily on Saturday, but there was conditions, and we'll talk about that. But today when we went into the round, I had a good mindset going in, and it fell apart really quick. And when I broke down on hole number 3, I just wanted to play golf after that.
Yep.
And even when I was in that mind frame, I couldn't get it back. I couldn't get back to just playing golf. My head was all scrambled, and I struggled for the rest of the day. I did manage a few pars, and we'll talk about a milestone for me on Saturday, miraculously. But let's congrats on winning your second in a row.
Before we continue on, I just want to say, like, I do spend a lot of time on things, but if there's one piece of advice that I can give you as an outsider looking at your game, and it has nothing to do with your swing. Absolutely nothing, because I am not the person to be talking about a swing, because, as you guys know, I'm a cross-handed golfer. My swing is a fucking abomination if you talk to somebody about how to hit a golf ball.
Man, do you make it work.
Yeah. I swing my swing, right?
Swing.
And I own that.
And right now, I think I'm into a spot where I've got like 5 or 6 swings.
Yeah.
And it's really hurting.
But I think for you, and today when I was kind of hanging out at home after I had done up the post for the socials and whatnot, it just randomly came up on my Instagram. Like, so we played today. It was 4 hours, just over 4 hours for our round, and we played 18 holes, and you took 96 swings. So in 4 hours and 10 minutes, how long did those 96 swings take you?
4 hours.
No. How long did the swings actually take you?
I have no idea.
Well, on average, how long do you think a swing takes you, or your whole routine to hit the ball?
I don't know. When it comes to my driver, I have a setup routine.
Yep.
It's not slow. It's a relative. Again, my driver was okay this weekend, but literally I get up. What is it?
30 seconds?
Maybe not even. Probably
okay.
20-second setup for my driver.
So 96 times 30 seconds, and the rest of the time you're driving around in a cart or you're walking. So I look at it as, why would I let that short little infinite amount of time ruin my round for what it really is, right? And that's kind of a glimpse into my mindset of how it is. Like you said, I make a bad shot. Like there was a couple today, like on, I was getting tired. Like 17 and 18, 17, I did not hit a good drive. I didn't even make the fairway. Yeah. It's a par 5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I hit another bad shot. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to run a 6-iron up there, hopefully get on in 4, give myself a chance at par, get bogey, and move on. And that was the plan, and that's exactly what I did, right? But for me, it's more just about understanding when to take a bogey, when to take a double bogey, when to eat it, and trying not to do too much. But that's a growth in my game, and I really think that you are starting to put in the work. I know from past experience, it doesn't happen overnight. You get glimpses of the good stuff coming, and then you get frustrated for a little while because you're like, it was working. Why isn't it working anymore? Because I've been there too, man.
So let's go back and let's talk about our round on Saturday.
Okay.
At Connaught.
Yeah, because this year, like we said, we played 36 holes, but we did a different format. So Saturday we opened at Connaught, which is our least favorite course in the city, as we'll continue to discuss here. So we started out. We played Connaught on Saturday. Where do you want to start? Do you want to go down the card, or what do you want to talk about here? How do you want to talk about the round?
Well, I mean, the conditions were something else.
For the first 9, the conditions weren't terrible.
Okay. Then the wind picked up.
That's right.
And it was a substantial breeze. But I mean, we'll say it right off the bat. Pace of play at that golf course is atrocious.
It's always a problem.
And again, we're playing in a tournament, and I know nobody else knows we're doing this, what we're doing. I mean, we've played a 6-hour round at that course. 3 hours on the front, 3 hours on the back.
I honestly, I don't think we've ever played a full 18 that's been less than 5 hours.
Yeah, I agree. So we get out there on Saturday. We'll go through the scorecard here, but it was 5 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
5 hours, a 5 hour and 40 minute round. You take a shot, you got to wait. You take a shot, you got to wait. I mean,
it's so hard to stay in rhythm.
I now I don't want to bash it too bad, right? But I told you when we were in the parking lot, as the people from the golf course are coming out and roguing our cart as we're literally trying to unpack.
Yeah, like we literally pulled up to our car. We need your cart.
Carts. It's like how or why? I mean, I don't want to get into it. But I told you that day that was the last Connaught golf cart that will go in my bag.
Yep.
That's it. We're done. We had the dual membership this year. I will not get it next year, and I will avoid that golf course forever. I mean, we go to Medicine Hat. Today wasn't a terribly fast round, and it was 4.5 hours.
Not even. No, like when I ended my round like 10 minutes afterwards, and it was 4:12.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it was a 4-hour round.
4-hour round. I mean, that's how we want to play.
And it wasn't a quick. It wasn't a fast pace out there.
We had to wait on some holes as well, on some tee boxes and on some second shots, which on Saturdays you expect, but you don't expect 5-hour plus rounds.
Well, it's just crazy, dude. And we're not the only ones that think about that or talk about that. We talked to someone we know at the golf course today that plays there, and they had a similar experience talking about the same thing.
It's like all the time. So, it's easy for me to put that course away and say, okay, I'd rather go play Desert Bloom I'd rather go play Cottonwood.
Yeah.
Than go and spend 6 hours there, 5 or 6 hours at Connaught.
Yeah, man, for sure.
The course doesn't play well for us, anyways. But
it's just it's a tighter course. Doesn't really fit our style of gameplay as it is, and it's the greens aren't great. Like, we're used to playing at Medicine Hat where they're nicely rolled. Like, they roll true. They're you hit a good putt, you're making a putt.
And I tell you, we played yesterday at Connaught. I went back today, and man, I was blasted past every hole today. Because again, the pace is different.
Yep,
and
totally.
I had to totally rein. It took me the entire round to rein back my putts.
I think you started putting well on like 16 or 17. That was where your putter kind of came in.
Because everything was long, and like out of tap in range, everything was just blistering. I mean, I even putted a couple off the green today. Like, it was, but all right,
frustrating. All right, so we get out to Connaught.
Connaught on Saturday.
Yeah, hole number 1. It's a 373 yard par 4
leg left
with a slight dog leg left, and it's a tight fairway. It's a tough hole. So we usually tend to, sometimes we'll struggle on that hole. Nobody usually gets out of there with a par. So Dave and I both bogeyed, and you and Clark took doubles on that one.
Yeah.
So that was how we started our day.
And again, I wasn't too, that hole, if I could just get through that hole without the quad,
yeah,
I'll be fine. Right? So
yeah, it's easy to let that hole get away from you, because we've taken 7s or 8s on that hole before this year. For sure.
Yeah.
So then number 2 is a par 5. It's a 470 yard par 5. You and I both parred that one. Dave took an 8, or sorry, me, you, and Clark parred that one, and Dave took an 8. Then we got a short par 3. Clark and I parred that one. You bogeyed. Dave took a 6. Then we got into another tough hole, probably one of the toughest on the course. 347 yard par 4. It's downhill with a very narrow landing area around the 150 yard marker. So it's a tough hole you basically have to lay up.
Yes.
Because it's a really, really tough landing area. So I ended up with a bogey. You ended up with a double, and the boys took quads.
It's a tough hole.
That is a very tough hole. And then we got another par 5. You and I both parred that one again. So the par 5s were good to us early on. Yep. We played well there. And the boys took another quad and a double, so they were kind of falling away already. Into number 6, I took a bogey, and you took a triple on that one.
Yeah, and that's a hole I play relatively well all the time.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's the. Oh yeah, that's the one with the tree with the
Yeah.
slight dog leg right.
So
What happened
I put
there?
it out in the tree line, and then it took me 2 shots to get it back into play, and then I hit a poor approach shot, and then I just beat it around the green.
Right. And then number 7, there's a tree. If you're on the left side, there's a tree that is right in your fucking way to go after the green. I ended up right behind the fucking thing.
Yep.
Um,
When you say right behind it, like literally zero chance of moving the ball.
oh yeah. So I think, and you ended up off to the left, and we both ended up making bogey though.
Yeah.
So I mean that's okay. Next one was par 3. This hole last year, you were this close to making a hole in one.
Hole in one, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of lipped the hole on that one for my hole in one.
Yeah, so I took a bogey, you took a double. Then we're into hole number 9. So up until this point, I was 1, 2, 3, 4. I was 5 over through 8, playing well. So number 9, I lose my tee shot out to the left. It's right up against the fucking tree. So I probably should have played an unplayable because it would have ended up being the exact same and given me a better line. But I hit it. I kind of whacked it away from the tree. I didn't give myself much of a line. Beat it around a little bit. Ended up getting on in 5 and then 2 putting for a triple. So which put me at 8 over through 9, which wasn't awful, but could do without the triple. And you made par there. You played that hole really well. So through 9, it was I was at 44, 8 over. You were at 47, 11 over. Clark was at 48, 12 over. And Davey was at 55, 19 over.
You gave me 3 strokes back on number 9, right?
I gave you 3 strokes back, and you were still. I was 6 up on that before that.
Before that, you were 6 up. You gave me so you were 3 up on me.
Yeah.
So then we make the turn.
Yep.
And this is when the wind starts to pick up.
Yep.
Right, and the conditions.
And I
are
fucking
changing.
hate hole 10, by the way.
Yes,
it's fucking brutal.
Hole number 10 is that's another one. You got to lay up if you want to lay up. For you, it's best to lay up because there's water. Right.
Well, because I play a draw. I play a draw, and if it's and I can't convince myself to aim far enough right over the trees.
Yeah.
So I should lay up. But the next, if I ever play there again, I'm just fucking blasting it. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
Because there's like it's literally when you're on the tee box, it's fairway, and then the fairway ends in water, and then you kind of continue on. The right side is what continues up as fairway. Right?
Yeah, but there's trees that protect that right side up until after that.
So our landing area is really small.
Yeah. It's a tough hole.
And there's water. So
yeah, so we make the turn, and I think we waited like 15 minutes at the tee box because there was two fucking groups in front of us that were there.
At number 10 for sure.
So you hit a money drive. I
crushed it over those trees you were talking about.
Yeah,
and was in great shape.
Yeah, you hit a beauty drive. I put my ball in the water as I always do. Took a drop on that hole.
Yep.
I finished with a bogey. You hit an absolutely beautiful approach shot. And what happened?
So I haven't had a birdie in over a month, and my approach shot was 2 feet.
Oh yeah, As we were driving up, I'm like, if you don't make that, I'm just not gonna be your friend anymore.
Said it, he said, if you don't make this, we're done here. And I was like, oh well, no pressure, right? But again, it was straight, just a putt,
easy putt.
So I
kicking birdie.
I actually I got it rolling, made the birdie, my first birdie in over a month, and we were in kind of, the conditions were changing, so I was like, sweet.
Yeah, so you get 2 strokes back there.
Yeah, because you took the bogey.
I took a bogey, yeah.
So now I'm only 1 stroke behind.
Correct.
Right, so we're off number 10, we're going into number 11, and we're close. This is exactly where we want it to be. Like, especially like first day going into the back 9, it's close. Everybody's, you and me especially. Because I want to compete against you, right?
Yeah, well, we'd said in the pre-portion of this podcast, we wanted it to be close. We wanted it to mean something, right? So then we go into number 11, long par 4. Wind howling into our face. Yeah. Like it's already a long par 4, howling into our face. So I hit you hit your drive, and I think you end up fairway.
Yeah.
And
but I wasn't far up there.
No, because wind knocked it down. I hit a 5 wood, and I drew it. I had a decent, like it was kind of underneath of a tree, but it wasn't blocking anything. And then I hacked it around and took a fucking triple. And and you ended up with a double.
Yeah.
So another stroke back. Now we're tied.
We're tied. And I mean, again, the scores are indicative to the conditions. Doubles and triples, and I mean, you don't get triples often anymore.
No.
And truthfully, I've only started getting triples in the last month.
Yeah, I mean? Typically we've eliminated triples. Like the worst we usually get is like a double, maybe.
Yep.
For the most part.
But
so then we have a par 3. I get up on the par 3. I get up on this par 3. Never usually have a problem with this one. There's water or kind of water swampy down the left side of it. Wind's in our face. I hit an 8-iron. I overdrew the shit out of it right into the water. Have to take a drop. I ended up with a double. You hit yours off to the right of the green, and then I think you chipped on and 3-putted?
Yes.
For a double.
Yes.
So there we're still tied after 12.
Could have picked up a stroke.
Absolutely. Left one there for you. 13's a par 5. This one you got to drive over. So we get out there. We're out and about. I ended up having to take a drop. I made triple, and you ended up making triple too somehow.
Well, I hit a decent drive. It was out to the right, but I hit 2 bad shots, and then I put myself in shape for 4, and then I hit the green and putted it around.
Is that your 4-putt?
That might have been my 4-putt.
Yeah.
And again, so we're talking about the conditions here, but pin placement on Saturday.
Oh my God.
It must have been tournament pins because everything was on a hill.
Oh, every single hole. There was like no flat hole. Like they were all angled.
So yeah, putting was an issue for all of us on Saturday. Even somebody who's a good putter like you.
Yeah, I had 2 3-putts, and I think I finished with 35 or 34 putts. But even then, that's like I don't get in the high 30s between like 34 to 36 very often anymore. So those were tough pins. So we both took triples. We're both tied after 13 still. 14. We go out there. We both take drives that are or no. You pulled your drive more left than I did. You had to kind of punch out. You sent it forward. I was in a good spot. Wind with me, and I was like, oh, I'll just get it up there. And the wind carried that puppy. I even took 1 club less. I should have took 2, and it carried it over the back. I chipped on. I made bogey. You were just on the fringe for your par.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You were just on the fringe for your par. And what happened?
I absolutely hammered that putt. It was slightly uphill, and I hit the pin because we left the pin in.
Yep.
I hit the pin and it dropped, and I was stoked that I made that par because if I did not hit that pin and knock it down, that thing was going to be 25 feet past the hole.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, I hit it so hard on the fringe, and I was like, "Oh geez." That was the first thought went through my mind. I was like, "Holy fuck, that was so hard!" Right? But it hit the pin, and because it was on the upslope,
yep,
it just hit the pin and bounced and went right in the cup for a par.
Yeah.
So I was
chip in par.
I was so stoked that I parred that hole. Like I was literally fist pumping as I was walking to the golf cart.
Yeah. So you made par. I made bogey. So at this point in the tournament, through 14 holes, you now have a 1-stroke lead.
Yep. And then it all comes apart.
So we go to 15, another par 5. I hit a 3-wood, put it on the left side of the fairway. You hit driver, and I think you were just in the right side rough. I got on in 3, 2-putted for a par, and you managed to somehow take a 7.
Yeah, I hit a very poor second shot. I hit a very poor third shot. I got it close in 4.
Oh yeah, and you 3-putted.
Chipped on.
Yep.
And 3-putted.
Yep, that's right.
And that one, I think, that hole after that par, that chip in par, I think affected me more than I wanted it to.
Yep.
I was disappointed. But that one got it. That one got to me. I was battling the frustration the entire day, and I think that was the hole that was like, you know what, dude, you're trying your best, but this is how it's going to turn out for you, and I carried that for the rest of the round.
Well, and the craziest part about that is even with your double and me getting a par, it just swung it so I had a one stroke lead. So it's not like it was insurmountable or anything crazy, right? It was just one of those things.
It was just the way I played the hole, and yeah,
so then we get
that one, like holding my frustration in check the entire day. That was the hole that
well, because you had a three
that allowed it to come through at
right.
that point.
Because you went 3-putt, 4-putt, 3-putt for 10 putts and 3 holes, right? Yeah. So, that was the end of that.
So the frustration was boiling over.
So then we get to 16, dogleg left. Usually these holes are like for righties are tough, but ever since I've developed a draw, those holes have become money for me. So I get up, I rip a 5-wood, roll it around the corner into beautiful position, and I'm good.
Mine comes out total left and hits the tree line.
Were you trying to go over the trees?
Yes, I was trying to go over the trees, but it did come out more left than the path I wanted it to, and I didn't get it up high enough to get it over the trees anyways. So I just kind of blasted it right into the tree line and knocked it right down. And then I took like 3 shots to get it out to the corner. And then I put myself in bad shape when I hit a good shot, and then I hit another bad shot that
you ended up on the next or the next fairway.
The next fairway, and then I hit a chip shot that hit something and bounced. Like I was all over the place.
Long story short, you ended up with a quad.
I ended up with a quad on that one.
And I ended up with a par, so there's a 4-stroke change.
So triple before, quad on this one. Like mentally now, my frustration is built up to where I'm just I just want to get through the next 2 holes.
Right.
Like I don't even want to play. I just want to get through the next 2 holes so I can get off to see where I am setting myself up for Saturday. That's the only thought I had.
Right. So then we go into 17, long par 3. We both made bogey.
Yep.
And then 18 is finished with a par 5 because Connaught's a par 73.
Yeah.
So I get up, I rip my drive. I hit a 6-iron, I think. Yeah, I hit a 6-iron. I ended up off to the right, not in terrible shape though. I thought it was bad, but it wasn't terrible. And then you guys, I think, all hit the fairway.
Yeah, I was out to the right side of the fairway, and I hit one of the worst 3-woods I've hit all year for my second shot. Like literally, I top my 3-wood a lot now because it's not the club it used to be for me the past 3 years. I'm like 50-50 with that club now, but I hit it solid. But I have never hit a slice with my 3-wood like I did for that second shot. It was absolutely abysmal watching that thing fly through the air. And I, in my own mind, was like, today is the day you're going to hit that shot that you've never hit with this club ever. Like just a hard slice. I thought it was in the parking lot.
Yeah, well, none of us seen it when we were trying to.
We went up and looked around, and I'm like, Jesus, is it in the? Like it had a slice on it that if it got through the fence, it's gone. In the parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, we did manage to find it, but then I wasn't in the mental frame to scramble, so I hit some bad shots, and like literally, I'm just trying to get the ball through the hole. And what did I take? Triple?
Double.
Oh, I took a double.
You took a double.
Oh,
you took a double. I was on in 3, and then I missed my par putt, so I ended up taking a 3-putt bogey. So it could have been worse. So we ended that day after starting 8 over. I went 12 over on the back, ended up at 20 over. You were plus 26 at 99.
99.
Clark was plus 29 at 102, and Dave was plus 35 at 108 after day 1 at Connaught.
Yeah, it was a rough day. It was a rough for all of us.
Oh yeah, it was not it was a tale of 2 nines, really. Yeah. Like the front 9, we were kind of all. It wasn't awful. Like I mean, I think we can all look at the number from the front 9 and be like, yeah, that's not a terrible round considering things. But yeah, again, just dislike Connaught. It's not our favorite course to play.
So I come home and I'm 6 strokes behind you at this point.
Right, 6 strokes.
And I'm actually at home here sitting and going through the holes going, where can I pick up these 6 strokes at Medicine Hat? Literally, like, where can I pick strokes up on Chris at Medicine Hat? Because I haven't been playing well lately, other than last weekend, was again right. So I'm going through the holes, and I'm like, it is going to be fucking tough to pick up 6 strokes on Chris at Medicine Hat. And unfortunately, that's what I went to the golf course with that mentality.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be tough to pick up 6 holes or
Well,
6 strokes.
well, we talked
those
because we
holes.
kind of talked about it after when we were waiting for your ride. It was like, being down 6, and we were just talking about it. I'm like, you're gonna have to go lay down like a low 80s,
Yep.
and hope that I play like bogey golf.
Yeah. So let's get into Saturday.
Okay, so or Sunday, you mean?
Sunday, sorry.
Okay, so we ended up at the golf course today. Everybody, by the way, had no idea what the fucking tee time was because we were other than Dave, who got there at the right time. But we all thought it was like 20 minutes earlier than what it was. So good preparation. So as you guys know, number one's a par 5. I did not hit a single driver on Saturday. Not a single driver. My strategy, being that it was tight there, was to keep the driver in the bag because it's hit or miss for me, and it has been all year long. At Medicine Hat, I just feel more comfortable with the driver on certain holes. So I stepped up. We teed off in order of the standings after day 1. I stepped up. I absolutely fucking piped a drive down the middle. Right down the middle. It was beautiful. You piped yours down the middle.
Yep, I hit a really good drive as well.
Dave piped his down the middle, and Clark went off to the right. So we get out there.
I hit a really good 3-wood for my second shot.
Beautiful.
It put me in great shape.
Yes, sir.
So
yeah, you had I think like 120 or something.
And then I totally shit stomped my fucking pitching wedge and put it in the fucking bunker.
Yeah, but that being said, you made a great sand shot and made your par putt.
Yep.
So you got out of number.
I got up and down. I did get up and down.
You got out of number 1. So I hit a beautiful drive instead of being super aggressive because there's trees where I was kind of at to go over. And again, I can't fucking force myself to go far enough left. So I hit an 8-iron. I'm like, I'll just pop it over the trees, give myself a nice little wedge in. It's a front pin, easy. No, instead I hit the top of the trees, kicked it right, at least to give me a look at the green. So then I grabbed a pitching wedge, choked down a little bit. I landed it exactly where I wanted it to, but the green is so fucking hard, it just ran right through. So then I chipped back, and my putt looked good the whole way, and just barely missed. Tap in for bogey. There's 1 stroke back. You're down 5.
Down 5 after 1.
That's right. All right, going into number 2. Another hole that it doesn't really suit our eye, but we've learned how to play it because it's protected to the right. Okay, so I ended up off the left side, which wasn't a terrible shot, but I couldn't actually get a full swing because there was a tree kind of in my backswing. So I punched it. I think you ended up on the right side, and did you punch it as well?
Nope.
Or did you take it?
I took a shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember what happened. It probably wasn't good.
No, it was fine. I think you ended up in the bunker again.
That might have been a bunker shot again. Yeah.
Yeah, you did, and then you 2-putted for a bogey,
yeah.
And I ended up on in 3.
Take anything away from this weekend? My bunker play was exceptional.
Everybody's, not just yours.
That's true.
Not just yours.
True.
Everybody's bunker play. Like anytime there was a sand shot, everybody made a great. Like Clark had some terrific ones. Dave had some excellent ones. I think I was only in the bunker once or twice, and I hit some good shots. It was crazy. But anyways, we both ended up with a bogey there. So through 2, you're only down 5 still.
Yeah.
So then we get number 3, another par 5. I grab driver. It barely makes it a foot off the ground. Runs out there, but it's straight. It's up the fairway, so it's okay. You hit your drive.
Yep.
As normal. Up the right. Were you on the right side?
Yeah, I was up the right side.
Yeah. Then you stepped up. You probably hit a 3-wood, I imagine.
Actually, I think I hit my hybrid on that one.
Oh.
Because I wanted to give myself an iron shot in.
Okay. More comfortable that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stepped up and I hit a 6-iron because that's just my go-to club. I could hit a wood or something to go for it, but there's no point because I just want to get a wedge in my hand and tuck it close. Like I've learned that sometimes being over aggressive is not good. So I ended up hitting my second shot. I was on the right side, which is not where you want to be. I was kind of under the trees, and I couldn't really attack where I needed to because the wind was blowing straight fucking left. and it took all of our approach shots to the left. So I went up, the ball went straight left, back, and onto the blue tee boxes on the next hole for me. So you're like, well, what are you going to do with this? And I'm like, not much. Just get it on the green. That's the plan. So I chipped on. I had I don't know, like an 8-9 foot par putt. And you were on in 4.
I think that was one of my.
You blew up on that hole.
I was in the bunker on the left.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I just barely got it out.
Okay.
Of the bunker, I didn't get any rollout. But because it was a very steep lip.
Yeah.
So I had to open the face up just to get it to pop up, and it just popped up, and it was on the fringe. And then I putted it across the green, and it went off the other side.
That's right.
Then I putted it back onto the green. It was kind of short, and then I just kicked it around.
Yeah, and you took a triple.
Yeah.
So as soon as you sunk your triple putt, it was my turn to putt, and I was just like, drain this, just drain it, and I drained my par putt. And you were holding the flag at that point. You just dropped the flag and you walked away.
Yeah, that was it. I just gave you the stroke back and 2 more.
Yeah, so so now I'm up 8 after 3 holes. So then we go to the par 3, which wind assisted on that one today because of the way the wind was going. We both ended up parring that, and you made a terrific first putt, and then your second putt was just as good. Or you just tapped in your second one. I think you just cozied it up there nicely.
Yeah, I cozied up the first one because it was just on the front of the green.
Yeah, you had kind of an uphill putt.
Uphill putt, yeah. With a little bit of a break left or right to left, but I got it tight and tapped it in for a par.
And I had a downhill putt because I ended up hitting because it slopes right, so I got a kick and I got to the back of the green and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a tough downhill putt. And I cozied it right up there and I tapped it in for par 2. So we walked away out of that one. You're still down 8. So then we go to number 5, which is it's a 331 yard par 4 straight away. Usually one of our scoring holes. Typically.
Yep.
Typically one of our scoring holes.
Yep. I hit a drive out to the right. I wasn't in terrible shape.
No, you were in great shape actually. Yep. And I hit an overdrawing 5 hybrid that got me underneath a little bit too far underneath the trees. And then on my second shot, I hit the branches. Third shot, I was able to put on, and I think I 3-putted that one. I think that was the only 3-putt on the front. Yeah, and that gave me a double bogey, which was my first double square of the day.
What did I do?
You got a double as well.
Yeah, I shanked my 9-iron, came up really short. Then I had a poor chip and 3-putted.
Yeah.
Typical for how my day was going to carry on, for sure.
Yeah, so still 8 strokes back. So then number 6, we all hit our drives kind of out to the right, just off the fairway out to the right. Again, a shorter par 4, another scoring hole. I hit the green, just missed my birdie, ended up with a par. You, I think, came up just short, and then chipped on and 2-putted for your bogey, right?
Yeah.
So then you're down 9 now.
I know I'm kind of out of it at this point, and truly, all I really wanted to do for the rest of the day was just play golf. And I just could not do it.
So then we get to number 7, which is a shorter par 3, where they always like to put the sucker pins. Shout out to sucker pin. So you hit the green, I believe.
I was.
Yes, you were. You did. You hit it on the left side. Yeah. And you 2-putted for par.
Yeah.
I was just off. I was off the green. I hit a chip shot, and then I 2-putted for bogey, so we got a stroke back. So then number 8, talking about dogleg left. This has trees right down the left side. It is the second hardest hole by handicap on our course. And you hit an absolutely perfect drive.
I hit a great drive.
You kept it low out to the right. Perfect drive.
Yep.
It was in perfect position. I got up. I hit a 5-wood. And I drew it around the corner, left myself 100 yards. Or no, 100. It's like 120 yards. And on the fairway. What happened after that?
You went around that corner real nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You drew it around that corner real nice.
Beautiful.
What did I score on that one?
You took a triple.
So my second shot was up to the right.
Oh, yeah, up to the left.
Is it up to the left?
Yeah, you shot it up to the left by the tree. You shot your third shot up to the right. Your fourth was over.
Right.
Your fifth coming back, and then you two putted for a 7.
Right.
That's what happened. And I took like it should have been a gap wedge, but because of the wind, I choked down on a pitching wedge to give me an extra 10 yards, and it was dead at the pin. And then I had about, I don't know, 5 feet for bird, and I missed it. Like I missed a lot of birdies today. I left some birdies out there, and I mean, which sucked, but so I two putted for a par. So then number 9, we get out there. We both end up taking a bogey. So we make the turn. I make the turn. I'm +6. You're at +11. Clarkie's at +13, and Davey's at +16. And that puts you 11 behind me with 9 to go. So we go into number 10. Number 10, I think we all hit the fairway, correct?
Yes.
I ended up 3 putting number 10 for a bogey, and you ended up taking a bogey as well. Number 11, I get out my driver. It's a par 5. I kind of snap hook that bitch, roll her along the fairway. Gets way out there, and it's not terrible. And then you hit yours down the right side, right?
Yes.
So what happened?
Other than
because you ended up with a double there.
I again mishit my 3-wood second shot. Then I hit a decent shot, but I think I was short of the bunker, but I had to go over the bunker.
Yeah.
So I chipped it over and it went long.
Oh yes.
And then I had to put it back.
That's right. And I ended up on in 4 because I hit my third shot just to the right. It was a very, very poor wedge shot. Just was not a good line. 1 putted for a par. Then we get into number 12. I hit a really bad 5-wood there. Barely made it to the. I don't even think I made it to the fairway. And you guys all hit really good balls out to the fairway. So again, I just pumped a 6-wood up. I was like, I'll put a wedge on and try and 1 putt for par, maybe two for bogey and get out of there. And that's what I did. I took a bogey. Everybody took a bogey on that hole. So then we get to number 13, which water to the left, OB to the right. You got about 50 yards of fairway to play with, but it does curl left. So I get up there and I absolutely lace a 5-wood.
That is like literally the longest drive I've seen on that hole.
Oh, I just curled it around beautifully. It was a perfect drawing. I think I left me like 110 yards.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody with a 110-yard shot on that hole this year.
It was
out of our group.
No, it was just perfect. It just because I remember I walked today, and you put your ball into the water.
I lost my first Odin ball today, so pretty sad that my sleeve of 2s is now 1 short. But there's a story about that I'll tell you after.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we were walking, and you're like, "Well, where'd you go?" I'm like, "I'm up there," and you're like,
I went up to the ball, and I was like, "Is that your drive?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "I've never seen a ball this far up this hole yet," and I was totally 100% impressed. So I had to take a drop, and I hit a decent 3-wood up towards the green.
Yep.
What did I get out of there with? Double?
Yes, you ended up with a double, and then I ended up hitting the green, 2 putting for par, moving on.
I was on him 4 and 2.
Yeah, and then 14, already a long par 3, made longer by the wind into our face. Yeah. That was kind of a shitty. I hit what looked like a really, really good shot into the wind. I wish there was some footage of that because it was like the Scotty Scheffler shuffle. I ended up with like my left foot up in the air as I'm coming around.
It was the only Even Dave said that was like a really interesting finish on your swing there because you kind of came out of it.
Oh yeah, straight 7-iron though. I mean, and then I 2-putted that puppy for par. You ended up short, and then you 2-putted for bogey. So then 15, which is our nemesis hole, it's a 452-yard par 4.
Yeah.
Long ass par 4.
I play that hole well.
You need a perfect drive if you want to have any chance, right? So I mean, I ended up getting out of there with a bogey. You ended up getting out of there with a bogey. 16 par 3. Uh, I ended up hitting the green, and I was kind of, because of where the pin was located and the undulations in that green, I ended up getting a 3 putt. Again, should have been a 2 putt, but was a 3 putt. I missed some putts today, giving me a bogey, and then you ended up taking a triple.
Yeah, and I don't think I was in terrible shape off my drive.
No,
I did.
You were short,
I was
but
short, and then just kicked it around.
And then we get into 17, which is the last par 5. As I talked about, I didn't even make the fairway with my drive. It was horrendous. I hit down on it. It was just awful. And then I hit a 5 hybrid that was also awful. And then I got a 6 iron and I punched it up there. I was on in 4 with a chance at par, just missed my par and tapped in bogey. And you ended up with a bogey as well.
Yes, I had an opportunity for a par on that one, and I missed it.
And then 18. 18, another slight dog leg left, 343 yards. I was on the left side rough, but enough around the corner that I had a good look at it. You were on the right side with a great drive.
Great drive, and I took a beaver tail, and the ball went nowhere. Like it was just, and again, trying to make I was focusing on contact, and I just couldn't even do that today. Like focusing on contact with my irons, because leading into this weekend, my irons, I figured out some stuff with my irons, but I could not execute it today at all. And I was like, I had a great look at the green. Like my ball was on a slight uphill.
Pretty well perfect look.
Well, it was an absolutely perfect look.
Yeah.
I just had to hit the club the way I needed it to, and I just couldn't. I took a beaver tail. The ball went, I don't know, 75 yards, and I had to go and chip back up onto the green, and I just kicked it around again.
Well, you 2-putted and you got a bogey.
Yeah.
Should have been a par, but you got a bogey. So I hit a choke down pitching wedge again, and the pin was in the front. So I hit it to the right side, and it rolled to the right side, perfect height. Rolled down the hill back towards the pin, ended up with like a 2.5 footer for birdie, and sunk my birdie to end the day and seal the tournament, and shot my season and career best at Medicine Hat with an 82. So 10 over today.
And he left some putts out there today too. So
for sure, like
could have been
under 80 today.
Break 80, first guy to break 80 out of our crew, which would have been.
So I shot an 82.
On any other day, it would have been really cool, except for today.
So I shot an 82. You shot a 96. Clark shot 100. Dave shot 105. So that gave us our final standings. Were me with I won with 175 total strokes plus 30. You were second with 195 strokes plus 50. Clark was third with 202 strokes plus 57, and Dave was fourth with 213 strokes plus 68.
So that's 10 strokes a day you had on me.
I guess, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have to start taking handicaps into consideration here now.
Well, even if we took handicaps into consideration, you still lost, so it doesn't matter. You just need to play better.
That's actually true. Yeah, you're right.
So, and this event was worth double the points. So I picked up 2,000. You picked up 1,800. Clark 1,600. Dave 1,400. So that increases my lead on you in the chase for the cup by 400 points now. Which
how many events we got left?
It's getting pretty close to insurmountable. So we're gonna have to do some massaging with the schedule here, because this coming weekend is Clark says he can't play, so we probably aren't gonna have an event this weekend. The following weekend is our tour championship, or our club championship weekend. So there's no tournament. Right. There's no
club championship.
The following weekend after that is the only weekend that's open, and then we have our tour championship, and we still got to figure out where we're going to play our match play for our purple sombrero. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we're going to play the match play for this purple sombrero maybe September long.
Yeah, well, sometime in September, because that'll give us something to play for in September.
Yeah, but and then the points can still go towards the cup.
Yep.
Okay, yep. So this will be the first year we won't actually hand the cup out at the Tour Championship. It'll be the last event of the season, probably for the Purple Sombrero. So that'll be good. Yeah, so that's a new idea Alvin and I have discussed. Where we'll have we're gonna do a match play,
So the purple
18
sombrero
holes.
used to be our award for because
Mo-
we used to do travel.
yes,
So when we used to take our points for travel and add them up, and the person who had the most points in our travel dates got the purple sombrero for the last
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, or any course that was not
That
our
was
home
not our home
course.
course. So
Yeah,
this year we didn't travel at all because
yeah,
our traveling is for the Alberta Golf Tour basically, and we were like, well, we're still going to hand out the purple sombrero somehow.
that's right.
And I think match play would be a lot of fun because we've never played match play.
I think it'd be amazing, especially after watching the Alberta Golf Tour match play event unfold this
Exactly.
weekend, right? Like it's cool. It's a cool idea. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll have one play 4 and 2 play 3, unless more guys come down to play, and then we'll stretch it or whatever. And we'll do a 2 day. We'll do 2 days, and it'll be 18 holes. If we get more guys, then we'll cut it down to 9 holes for certain rounds. But it'll be like 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, 18-hole matchup. Winners play on the Sunday in an 18-hole matchup for first and second. Losers play for third and fourth, and then the winner gets the purple sombrero.
Yep.
And 2,000 points.
And 2,000 points. So if I win the Tour Championship and a match play, I can still win Chase for the Cup.
Potentially, it's there.
Do we have to get another event, single day event in there somewhere?
We should.
Yeah.
I think we should have one single day. We did miss one. We haven't been as diligent this year, of course, because we got other things going on, which is fine. But I mean, we do have that one weekend that's in between that we could probably play an event and get at least one day in, which would be good. Yeah, so that's our major for the year. Clark won the first one 2 years ago, and now I have won back-to-back championships. To Alvin's disheartening. He really wanted that this year, but it just wasn't meant to be.
The game was not there for it. So I again, if the game is not there for it, there's zero chance I'm going to compete. I have to figure something out for.
We got a week, man. We got to figure. We got to get you. I'll do whatever I can to help get you prepared because I mean I want you playing well because it's going to be no fun going to Mickelson not this Tuesday but the following Tuesday, and if you're playing like dog shit because you're going to hate your fucking life.
I will. Goddamn right. But somehow I got to get back into that mental frame of mind that I had when I played the Bloom in our first event. I was locked in.
Well, we were just talking about that today. I said I was like, I have never ever seen you play like that again. Like that's the one and only time I've ever seen you play like that. And if you play like that, you're going to be almost impossible to beat because you were so locked in. It was crazy.
Yeah, I just somehow got to figure that out again.
Whatever that feeling was, or whatever you did, or whatever happened.
I don't know. It was just a different frame of mind that I wanted to play, and I've never been able to replicate it since.
Yeah.
Not for our events, or even if we're playing like a scramble or anything, I've not been able to recreate that mental focus that I had in that first event at Desert. Even when we went to Strathmore, before the elements got to us, I was playing okay.
Yep. Yeah, you were playing okay.
I wasn't locked in maybe like I was at the Bloom, but I was playing okay. I was right there. We would have been close making the turn if the weather didn't go all
100%. 100%.
And again, I'm going to build off that. I'm going to take that with me to Mickelson National and go, you know what? In these events, I do play well.
Yep.
And I can play well because I have the shots, and that's the mentality I have to go there with.
You just got to come with a positive mindset and be like, listen, I'm going to play my game. I'm going to do what I can, and whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. I mean, going into that, it's such a prestigious course.
And going into Mickelson National,
that's tough to see.
Yeah, Golf Logic's green books.
Yeah.
So they have one for Mickelson National, and me and Chris both have one for going into Mickelson National because we've never played there.
And we've never used one of these either.
We've never used one of these fantastic range books.
Oh my God!
These yardage books are absolute fire. They have the heat maps and the layout of
how everything slopes
for every hole. I mean, you can't see it here too much. I'll do a video on this later, maybe. They're absolutely fire, and I can't wait to put this to the test when we go up to Mickelson National.
They're super cool. Like that, they're basically what the pros use on every course almost. Like, but I mean, they do their own, but
they have a bunch of courses on there. Unfortunately, we don't have any from Medicine Hat yet, but we've put in a request to get Medicine Hat done in this in the heat map. So looking forward to using the the Golf Logic's green books here. Shout out to them for hooking me up with one of these. I know you bought yours.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good. I don't. I looked at it as I was like, it's pretty cool actually, and that bastard doesn't need any advantage whatsoever over me. He doesn't get any advantages. It is what it is.
All right.
But yeah, so that's our major prep and major recap episode.
So I think next episode we're going to do Mickelson National Prep, maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe Mickelson National Prep this weekend, or this upcoming weekend.
And the weekend after we'll probably do a Mickelson National wrap up.
Or do we do a pre-post like this one? Or what do you think? We'll talk. We'll discuss and figure it out. Might be joint, might be separate. We'll see where our games are at. But I mean, I don't think so. Now, no golf till Thursday.
No golf till Thursday. I am going to take some time away.
Yep.
To work on some stuff at home. Maybe a range session on Wednesday, possibly, and we'll see where we go from there.
If you go Wednesday, you cannot go to Medicine Hat because their range is closed that day.
Of course it is.
Because it's men's league.
And they close the range?
That is the night they close the range to pick it.
Oh, yes.
Because they always do it once a week.
Yep, gotcha.
You could go down to any other range. Well, you could go to Cottonwood if you want it. Yeah, but
we got a fucking Halo tournament coming up, don't we?
Yeah, man. 23rd of August. God. Can't wait.
There's so much tournament shit coming up here in the next little while to finish the season. It's going to be hectic.
It's going to be crazy, and I mean, I'm only at like 50 rounds.
Yeah, I'm not at 50 rounds, I don't think.
Like it just seems like we've played less golf, but I feel like it's more meaningful golf.
More meaningful golf. Guaranteed.
Like I feel like more meaningful golf has been played this year when we focused on different things with our golf.
Yes, I was. Again, when we got these memberships at Medicine Hat, I was focusing on quality golf, not quantity golf.
Yeah, like we have been the last 3 years,
the last
right?
3 years, we wanted to get our 100 rounds in,
and
that's just crazy. But I wanted the quality of golf to be better, and the exercise, physical part of it, like walking the course and stuff, has taken a toll on my game for sure, because I'm not quite in the shape I want to be. I'm getting better.
Yep, yeah.
And that's probably why it was disappointing this weekend, because I rode in the cart and I didn't really play well.
Yes.
So
yeah, and you thought you had made a breakthrough last weekend with that, right?
There was a lot of frustration, but
it's all good. It'll come back.
Yeah.
It'll come back. I mean, hopefully it's back there in time for our next couple tournaments. You better find your game, because I need you on the Friday before our tour championship for the Halo tournament. After that, I don't care, but you need it for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Later.
Take care.